Without further ado, my advice to new agents. Let's say you just got your license and you're trying to figure out the best way to move forward with your real estate career. I'll say it really depends on your personality, right? The most successful or lucrative way to go about it is probably to get into a big team, successful team that is selling hundreds of houses a year. So you probably want to interview brokers, and not only them interviewing you, but you're also interviewing them to see what's a good fit, right? But I would advise you probably get in a team, or you can partner with one of the seasoned agents. If you know somebody that's very successful, ask them if they're willing to at least coach you, mentor you. You need to be like an apprentice, right? Even if you give them a bit of your commission. Some brokerages offer that actually. Don't want to advertise them, but when I was interviewing years ago, some brokerages told me that I'll have to shadow a seasoned agent, and they'll take about 5% of my commission for the first 5 transactions, because they'll shadow me the entire way through those first 5 transactions. So that's an option, and it's one to get your foot in the door really quickly and start selling. Downsides of that is it's almost like a 9 to 5. You are on somebody else's schedule. You got to be there at a certain time. You're working in a group, a lot of oversight. So really, that's why I say, based on your personality, if you know you are the type to slack off, procrastinate, and you need somebody driving you, that's the option I recommend. Join a team. Also, if you know your financial situation is not that great and you need to get houses sold, you join a team. So the way the team works is you got a group of buyers agents, you got a group of sellers agent, listing agents, and then you have a few people in the team that are just admin. They do all the paperwork. So buyer's agent go do showings, open houses so they can meet buyers. The listing agents do the prospecting, listing appointments, and then the admin kind of just focus on the paperwork. So everybody has specific tasks. Downside with that sometimes is if you come in, 9 times out of 10, they're going to put you as a buyer's agent. So most teams already got their top sellers, the top listing agents, and they just need people to run up and down showing buyers houses. So you can get in and it's a way to at least meet clients, walk properties, get your foot in the door, but you lack the experience to be a listing agent. You can kind of glean as time progresses, or you also lack the paperwork details, because once you get transactions for the team, the admin people kind of take it over. And based on the volume, you may not have time to sit down with those people doing all the paperwork. So that is almost a guaranteed way as an agent to come in and start selling houses. Join a major team, but you got to work it like a 9 to 5, right? And a lot of oversight. So if you are a self-driven person, which I really believe all agents should be, because as an agent, you're a business owner. You are the business for now. You know, I think it's Jay-Z that once said, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman," meaning he is a business, he himself, right? And that's what it means to be an agent, really. You are a business. Even though you may work for a brokerage that's a business, you file your taxes. I would advise you to get an LLC, and you get paid as a contractor, right? So you might as well do it as an LLC rather than sole proprietorship. Rather than personal income, right? Anyway, if you're self-driven, you are a businessman or woman. So what this means is you know yourself and you know you can go get your transactions. Real estate is you eat what you kill. Nobody is coming to save you. So you got to know, wow, I got to wake up at this time. You got to be able to motivate yourself even when things are slow. That's the route I chose. And for me, it was primarily because of scheduling, right? I had other commitments. I was just getting in the real estate industry, and I wasn't going to throw away my main source of income. So I knew I didn't have the time for people to be just hovering over me all the time, come to the office on this strict schedule. The entire purpose of me getting into real estate is to free up my schedule, which was kind of a lie, actually, I told myself. But it does free up your schedule once the ball gets going, right? And that's what I envisioned. So if you're self-driven, you want to make your own schedule, the solo agent is a better path for you. And there are pros and cons to that, meaning you have to motivate yourself. There's nobody there to motivate you. Your broker might give you advice. Obviously, they want to see you succeed, because when you make money, the brokerage makes money. But bottom line is, most of these brokerages got monthly fees. And on top of all the annual fees that you got to pay the MLS, you need to pay like your local organization. For instance, I'm with Smart Southern Maryland Association of Realtors. You got the GCAAR as well, the Greater Capital, which is the Association for Washington, D.C. And then different counties here in Maryland got their own, right? So you got to pay these people every year, and it's not cheap. It's about $1,000 or so. So just imagine you paying that. Some brokerages' monthly fee is as high as $300 a month. Some are very low. Some don't have annual fees. So you're paying this whether or not you sell a house. You got to keep that in mind. So you need to have some money saved up to be able to cover those expenses until you get your first deal. Because even if you walk in the door today and you get a transaction a day, it takes about 30 days on average for a transaction to close. Okay? So being a solo agent, it can be very beneficial, because top agents sell 100 houses a year, 50 houses a year, things along those nature. Some top groups sell multiple hundreds, but now they got to split that commission with about 6 people, plus the brokerage. But when you're a solo agent, you keep most of your commission, because you still have to pay your brokerage. And the good side about that is scheduling, you know. As I mentioned, I chose that path because I already had a full-time job, and I wanted to work around my schedule. And I interviewed with some brokerages that I thought had very good onboarding programs. Didn't decide to go with them because of schedule. You know, they required office time a lot, and I'm like, nah, I can really work from my home office. And if I need to close a transaction or meet with a client, then I can come to the office. But most of what I do can be done from the home office. You know, I don't need to go to the office all the time and have people constantly hovering over me, because I can hold myself accountable. At least I think I can, right? And I think I've been doing an okay job so far. So you just need to know your personality. If you think you can hold yourself accountable to get up and do your prospecting and go find your transactions, then the solo agent route may be best for you.
Your ultimate hub for real estate insights, breaking news, entrepreneurial wisdom, investing strategies, and self-development hacks. If you're ready to expand your mind and stay ahead of the game floor, you're in the right place. Subscribe now. Your future self will thank you.